We have in our readings today, during Advent, God reminding us that He is our source of strength. He is our source of rest, refreshment. Jesus speaks of giving us rest, giving us a sense of being refreshed, of being restored. And God, in the first reading through Isaiah, is saying, I'm not gonna wear out. I don't lose heart. I don't faint. I don't give up. I'm going to continue to move forward and call my people to me. And during Advent, we are reminded about being in joyful anticipation. And it's difficult to maintain that. It's difficult to maintain the sense of anticipation with joyfulness. Sometimes it becomes just a weary waiting. And I think of all of those people with who I served in different parishes who are waiting for their immigration papers to get arranged, who are waiting to find a job that support their family, who are waiting for something just to help move their life into the next phase that would be just a little bit easier. And how difficult it is to maintain the sense of joyful anticipation and not just become weary by waiting. And so these readings today are awakening us that God will not run out of gas. He's not going to get tired and say, well, your case is too difficult. I can't do it anymore. And you're just going to have to deal on your own. God's never going to say that. And in fact, in Christ Jesus, we find the strength because we're able to hand over our burdens to Him. That's why He says, my burden is light. Because we hand over our burdens to Him and He helps us to carry them. And I was looking at the readings today, and St. Augustine, he talks about God putting Himself in the place of a debtor by making promises to us. And so we're waiting on that promise. And in St. Augustine's mind, he sees that God is making good on these promises according to His time frame and giving everyone a chance to take advantage of that promise. And there's one particular passage today that I think is amazing. He has promised humanity divinity, mortals immortality, sinners justification, the poor a rising to glory. It was not enough for God to make His Son our guide to the way. He made Him the way itself, that you might travel with Him as leader and by Him as the way. So as we journey on this earth, we have Jesus Christ, who is not just a guide, like someone we might hire when we go to a foreign country to help, get us to the best restaurants or something. We have Him as the way itself and the one who leads us on that way. And the one who will always be present to us on that way, to fill us with that joyful anticipation as we await the fulfillment of His promises. And so again, Advent continues to bless us by reminding us of that joyful journey, and not to be wearied by waiting, but instead to be filled with joy at the anticipation of the fulfillment of these promises. And we know that fulfillment especially comes at the time when we pass from this life to the next. And some of you who were here yesterday, you saw I brought my baptismal candle. And that candle is given to us to be a reminder to carry the light of Christ with us. That Jesus as the light guides us to our home. And when we cross that threshold, we come into the fulfillment of those promises. And so to not be wearied by the journey, but instead to continue to allow Christ to rekindle in us the joy of the anticipation of the fulfillment of those promises. Because the one who made those promises, God Himself, will fulfill them.